Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. Y'all, the tonight's reaction is coming from the PASCAL show on YouTube. Okay, now this is a very serious one, okay? I know you read the headline, and the man is still on the loose. So I'm just doing this so everybody will know who he is and what to look out for, and some of the reasons why he may have did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, as you come in, please hit that subscribe button, also the like button, and I surely appreciate it. Here we go, y'all. And this is Pascal. Okay, here we go.
We got some really disturbing and creepy updates revolving around this whole tragedy that happened out in Minnesota, where this man is literally was cosplaying as a cop, went up to two lawmakers' residences, and then tried to take all of their lives. Of course, there was one couple that is in the hospital. They're in critical condition, but there is another lawmaker and her husband that actually lost their lives. This is absolutely a devastating situation. And of course, this particular person is still at large. Now, of course, I want to share with you guys his face, the many different faces that he has, okay,
Right.
the different looks that he has, etc., because he could be anywhere at this moment in time. And of course, this man should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. This man's name is Vance Luther Bolter. Vance Luther Bolter. Okay. If you have any information, call 877-996-6222. Again, 877-966-6222. All right. Or you can go to the bca.tips@state.mn.us. If you have any information, the man is 6'1", he is 220 pounds, and he has brown hair and brown eyes. I'm sorry, and he has it looks like a lighter gray hair. He seems to be graying up on top, just so you guys know. So take a good look at this man's face, and if you've seen him around, please consider him armed and very dangerous. Just consider him dangerous for what he has done here, okay? This is a very, very terrifying situation, and there's information here that is so wild that it is just the wildest thing, okay? And we're starting to understand, and let me just throw his face back up here. We're also starting to understand that this man is also a Trump supporter. Now, there's been a lot of information out here, or at least he's a...
Well, look, this is not Democrat, Republican. That's why they saying he's a Trump voter. Okay, we're not saying he's a real Trumpster. I'm gonna just get all the Democrats up out of here. No, this is he's a Trump. He voted for Trump this year. Okay, so we ain't doing Democrat, Republic. So please don't come for me. All right. Yeah, so I'm just putting this out here because I want everybody to be safe, because he's still out here, and he just like a cop and all that stuff, y'all. Okay, let me let Pascal finish.
Trump voter, let's just say that, okay? And the thing is that there has been a lot of confusion being thrown out here, because they said that police found in his car flyers in his car that had no kings on it. And there's a huge demonstration, huge protest going on right now as we speak. The streets are percolating with people screaming out against the Trump administration.
Really?
And people are definitely feeling some type of way in masses, okay? In mass, all throughout the country, okay? This is a nationwide protest that's happening right now as we speak. And of course, I'll be covering it as soon as this video is uploaded. I'll be most likely live, so please check it out when...
Shoot, I'm going live with it too then. Maybe. We'll see. But I wanted to make sure y'all got this information out. This is just some quick that PASCAL grabbed from the news. You know what I mean? So let's see what all. Man, I hate that he had to unalive two people. Lord, just because they was lawmakers, Democrat lawmakers, and then he also pop out two others who are in the hospital in critical condition. So that's four. Okay, two unalive and two fighting for their life. Okay.
When I'm live, we will be talking about that and covering all the stuff tonight as well. But I did want to give you these updates because the stuff is wild. What this man was wearing when he went to these two lawmakers' homes, he was wearing a mask, guys, like a full-on bald white male goatee type of mask, and then he was wearing head to toe a full-on cop uniform. Then he also, on top of this, was driving a car that looked exactly like a cop car. Now, I don't know if he went on Amazon and bought a whole bunch of replica types of items to dress up a Ford Explorer to drive around to make it seem like and look like he's a cop. But he went to great lengths to try to do what he did. Now, we also understand that there was a list of people. He had a list of people. He had a hit list, y'all, of more than 70 individuals. I'm not kidding. 70 plus individuals on a list, on a hit list. So that wasn't what he did early this morning, wasn't even the tip of the iceberg of what he wanted to do.
Dang.
Wasn't even the tip, y'all. So I want us to take a look at this because honestly, this is some crazy stuff. And there's new information, like I said. And people are wondering, maybe people were throwing in, or the cops threw in No Kings flyers in there to throw off people, maybe scare people from going out and demonstrating today, protesting today. I don't know. But to me, it just doesn't make any sense for a Democrat, if he was a Democrat, to go to Democrat homes and take their lives. It just doesn't make any sense if it was politically motivated. But now we're starting to hear that this man, which we're going to see in a little bit, that his roommate said that he was a Trump supporter and he did vote for Trump, at least during this election year. And I'm going to tell you this really quick. It is totally.
Sorry. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, it's not like that. We're not saying, I'm not saying that it's a Republican. I mean that all Republicans. It's just this one. This one just flew over the cuckoo's nest. Okay, because it was a whole lot of people out there marching and doing the riots and just upset at Trump. They upset. Okay. But this one right here, he decides he want to go unalive some Democrat lawmakers. And the police, he had on a fake darn mask that you would wear for Halloween, a whole head mask. He gonna show it, and a fake police uniform. And then had his what kind of car? The SUV had stickers like he had ordered from Amazon or something to make his SUV look like a cop car. Just crazy. Man, this man crazy. And then gonna write his friends and stuff like that. Man, shoot.
Understandable, or it is something that we can definitely see.
Okay.
Where people are going to switch sides, right? One moment they're maybe, a Democrat, then suddenly they don't like the views anymore and they change their ways and they become a Trump supporter or they become Republican. Regardless, those things happen all the time. Or they're a Trump supporter and then suddenly they are red as hell, but then suddenly become blue as hell. Those things do happen in real life. We've seen it all the time. So with this situation, this is very interesting, given the fact that this guy also was working allegedly closely to Governor Tim Walz's whole camp He was working in the government, with Tim Walz. So, or, alongside, not with Tim Walz,
Yeah,
but you get what I'm saying. He was in
alongside.
another department, but still, he was a Democrat at that time. So it is a very interesting piece of information. We're going to be getting into that in just a second, okay? But FBI announced on Saturday afternoon that the agency is offering a reward now for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of Vance Bolter, okay? The man who is suspected of taking the life or, pulling the trigger on two Minnesota lawmakers, okay? So we already know that Melissa Hortman, I'm sorry, and her husband lost their lives, okay, in their Brooklyn Park home. And then we also have Senator John Hoffman with his wife. They're severely injured. They're right now in the hospital fighting for their lives as well, okay? This guy was impersonating a police officer. He was even driving a squad car, or at least it looked like a squad car, which is insane, guys. You got to understand, if he put all those things together himself and made a fake car, let's just say, to make it look like it was a cop car, that is some serious precision. That is some serious dedication. That is some serious planning. And I don't know, could it be that he didn't operate on his own? That's a possibility as well, which is weird, okay? But they're showing photos, okay, of a security camera showing him wearing what he wore. Look at this, guys.
Look. Look what he got on, y'all. That is a nut. Y'all saw what he had on. I mean, what he really looks like. And for him to go through all this planning and stuff, shoot, I don't know how long you've been planning it, so he may have done it by himself. I have no idea. I ain't gonna even try to guess at it. All I know is premeditated. He's still on the loose. He's trying to unalive Democrat lawmakers. Okay, so be on the lookout. That's all I know. Y'all, Lord, crazy.
This ain't weird to you?
Yeah,
this ain't weird to you?
Crazy.
That don't look weird? Because I'm going to tell you right now, that looks weird.
Sorry about that, y'all. He'll be back.
Weird. Okay? Knocked on the door and was like, ma'am, sir, MPD, I need you to open up. That kind of thing. And then he opened fire on these lawmakers. And again, this was not even his whole night. He had plans to go to other homes to take out other lawmakers in the area. That is absolutely diabolical. Now, I want to share with you guys as well, because again, this has been absolutely crazy. There's been interviews done by his roommate. And that's what, from my understanding, he's married, but I guess they're separated. So he has a roommate. The roommate is sharing the text message, the last text message that this guy, Vance Bolter, sent to him before all this craziness went down. So take a listen to this. This is just crazy.
That's shorty. So I just want to let you know I love you guys both. And I wish I hadn't gone this way. I don't want to say anything more and implicate you in any way because you guys don't know anything about this. But I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused.
Now, of course, I'm gonna pause it right there because I do want to make this abundantly clear. This is obviously a huge surprise, and of course, it's kind of hard to hear and understand what he's saying. So I'm gonna let the news reporter explain everything here more and much further and much clearer. But
look, I also want to let y'all know that I'm letting him talk more. So PASCAL, please don't strike me. But anyway, I'm letting him talk more so we can get a better understanding of what is going on, okay? So I'm letting him talk more. So he's going to let the news talk All right, so I'm letting the news talk too. All right, so we can y'all can get a better understanding of it because I already watched it. Okay.
But he's reading that, and you could hear he's shook, as he should be shook.
I know
It's a shocking situation. Who expects something like this to happen? And that's the thing. That's the other thing too, that he did not know this was going to happen at all, and that's how thrown off he is. He's like, wow, how did this? What's going on? He's confused. Okay, so there was no warning signs whatsoever on what happened here. Okay, so let's take a look at this, and I'm telling you right now, this is some crazy, crazy stuff. Let's rock and roll.
From Vance Bolter, he received in the 6 o'clock hour, 6 a.m. this morning. I'm going to read some of the words, and he read aloud in tears that text message, and I'll read you some of those words, minus some of the filler words. He said, I'm going to be gone for a while. Again, these are the words of Vance Bolter. I may be dead shortly, so I just want to let you know, I wish it hadn't gone this way. I don't want to say anything more. You guys don't know anything about this. I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused.
Now, here's the thing. Again, no warning, no heads up whatsoever. Out of nowhere, they get a text message like this, and then at least his roommate gets his front door busted wide open. He's like, how the hell did this happen? What's going on here? And I get it. I'd be just confused, just as thrown off, just as heartbroken, and just as concerned, of course, if this is somebody that you care for and love, right? But again, this is some crazy stuff, y'all. Crazy stuff. Let's let her cook.
Again, this was David Carlson reading aloud to members of the media, including us right here, telling us the very last text message he received from his best friend, Vance Bolter, in the 6 a.m. hour. Now, take a look at the scene here behind me. You see his roommate, again, David Carlson, who was reading that text message. His best friend also lives here in this house with Vance Bolter. He and another roommate corroborated that Vance Bolter lived in this home just a couple times in the week, his other home being in Green Isle. He had some jobs here in the Twin Cities, and so that's why he was here. In fact, actually, this room on the right, you see somebody inside there right now. There's a cat tower in the front. The window's clearly busted out. That is the room where Vance Bolter lived.
Crazy, right? So this is the place where he lived. They busted the place up. They went through all that stuff. Of course, the roommate is absolutely thrown off, completely surprised, didn't expect any of this, and I don't blame him for being this surprised.
Can you imagine living with somebody that you didn't even know was capable of unaliving somebody else? They even would have that thought. I bet that man is shook. And the other roommate, whoever it is. I bet they shook, man. And yeah, they busted them doors in, and man, 4 Democrat lawmakers. That's just pitiful. Just because of what you are. So far, that's what we know so far. All right, because PASCAL, he gonna get down to it. That's what he does. So if y'all on YouTube, go to the PASCAL show, because I sure do. I mean, all crimes, somehow he can get up in there. He be on it. You hear me? He is very good.
But again, some shocking stuff here, guys. Some absolutely shocking stuff. But let me play a little bit more. And this is the part later on she explains about him actually being a Trump supporter, or actually being a Trump voter, at least, and that this was definitely a motivated situation, that this is definitely a politically motivated situation, right?
Political affiliations, and David Carlson, once again, his roommate and best friend, known him since 4th grade, did say Bolter voted for Trump and that he was a strong supporter, but he hasn't really talked about politics lately. And from what his friend knew, he had no idea that Bolter was interested at all in local or state lawmakers as well. His friend didn't even know the names of the lawmakers who were attacked today.
Now that's what's so weird about it, right?
Yep.
And you can see this caption right here. He had no idea. And the thing is that, I mean, that's something that we have to put in consideration, that he was doing all of this. He was moving in silence. He was moving and doing all this stuff, writing out a list, coming up with certain things bit by bit. And then when the time was right to strike, he struck. Of course, this is absolutely devastating. This is absolutely devastating information, devastating news. Still can't believe that this even happened. And of course, this man is still on the loose. He is still out there running amok. Don't know where he is. Now,
Yo, wait a minute. Did I pause it? Wait, did I? Y'all remember he said he had 70 people on the list. So the cops, the real cops, must have the list, but I wonder if he has it or made a duplicate list just in case. You know what I'm saying? So it's the lawmakers that's in that area. So y'all be safe out there. I hope this happened this morning, so now we got to find out what's been happening throughout the day. Is he in hiding? Is he still going after them? I don't know. Let's just listen. Please play.
At least in those text messages, it gave the vibe like he may be thinking that he's not coming back. So there is a theory that maybe he's done something devastating. I don't know. Right? But that is a fair assessment, especially when you see a text message that his loved ones, his friends and loved ones received the night before he enacted all of these things that he did. But I don't know, guys. What say you? Like I said, I'm very interested to hear about why there was the No Kings like flyers, which weren't even flyers. It was almost like little pieces of paper that had something No Kings written in Sharpie over and over and over again. Real talk. That's what it looked like to me. It didn't have an address. It didn't have a place. It didn't have anything. There was just little tiny pieces of paper with No Kings on it. And I feel like either that was planted by him or somebody else to throw off the media, throw off the public, to get them scared from going out and protesting or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's just the vibe I got. But now that they say one of his bestest friends, like basically his brother, okay, that he has known since he was in 4th grade, said, he was a Trump supporter. He was a voter for Trump. That explains why they're saying that this is a politically motivated attack on these lawmakers. And I'm wondering who else was on that list. Was it all Democratic electives, elected officials, or no? I'm quite curious about that. But anyway, what say you? Let me know your thoughts are.
All right. And PASCAL, he said he was going to go live once he uploaded this. So I'm already there, but I'm about to see anyway. So y'all, thank y'all for joining me. Please hit that subscribe button and stay over here with Valentine TV. Give me a chance, okay? And hit the like button also. And PASCAL, if y'all want detective like stuff, that's what he does. The helicopters in the sky, showing all the rides, all of that. Man, PASCAL, because I sure be looking. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for coming to Valentine TV. I appreciate it so much. And I will see y'all later, okay? Thank y'all for subscribing. And we're at 868 so far that I've seen. All right. Thank y'all so much. All right. Good night.